In this video, we're going to explain the basic idea of our model and how actually the flow works. Starting from the input here, you can zoom in. You have two inputs, one from the oxygen going to this pressure regulator and another from the air pump here. You have both of them combined in these flows to the tank here to mix both the oxygen and the air to the concentration you want. But before this, you have a solenoid valve controlling the amount or the airflow of the air going in, and you have a solenoid valve to control exactly the same amount of or the amount of the oxygen going into the tank. The pressure regulator here is basically to make the pressure coming from the oxygen cylinder is exactly the same as the pressure coming from the pump. And after you have the mix, which actually you control its concentration by the ratio of your valves. So these are high frequency valves to control the concentration and the pressure in the tank. You have then a pass going to this valve here, which is the inspiratory valve, controlling the pressure going into the lungs and the time actually you need to reach the assigned pressure. So this is actually the way to the lung. If you go with the path here, you will find this is the Y piece for the inspiratory and the expiratory passes together. And both of them are actually going into this block here, which is the airflow sensor and oxygen sensor and the pressure sensor before you go to the lungs. The basic idea of this block here is to calculate exactly the amount of air going in and out and the pressure at the lungs at the moment you're calculating. So, and also you have an oxygen sensor to see the amount of oxygen going to the lungs and out of it to see the saturation exactly. In this pass, the expiratory valve, the expiratory pass, you have a solenoid here, which is also a high frequency solenoid valve controlling the expiratory pressure, which actually opens to the atmosphere or the ambient. Okay, in our model, the doctor gets to put 4 inputs. The inspiratory pressure controlled by this inspiratory valve, and the expiratory pressure controlled by this expiratory valve, and the respiratory rate and E to I ratio, which can be also controlled by the frequency of the valve and the duty of its opening and closing. And finally, the concentration in this tank, and you can control it actually by the valves before the tank for the oxygen and the air together. I guess that's it. Yeah. Here, if you can zoom in, you can find a battery connected to our circuit, so that if you don't have an AC input, you can also make it work for like about 180 minutes on this battery. And finally, here you have the converter. Yes, that's it. Thank you.